Welcome back to Numer Math, in which we apply color to either identify or sequence within math, always providing students the opportunity to solve independently and self-assess with an answer key provided at the end of the video. All right, this is a special assessment review for my Math 2 Unit 1 crew. All right, kicking off, we have 22x minus 5 in parentheses. We have the 4x minus 7 equals 19. What does that parenthesis tell us to do? Yes, it does. It tells us to distribute. All right, taking a look though, let's zoom on in. All right, that 22x, exactly, it does not get distributed. So what are we going to do? We are just going to drop it down. We are going to easy bake oven it. We are going to set it and forget it. Now the term in front of the parentheses, no, it's not just a 5, it's a negative 5. And if we're struggling with that a little bit, go ahead and circle it. We will multiply that to both terms in the parentheses. So we'll do negative 5 times 4x, giving us negative 20x. And then we will do negative 5 times, yes, exactly, negative 7. All right, I'll go ahead and circle that. Negative 5 times negative 7 gives us the positive big hurt 35. Bring down your equals, bring down your 19. You can throw a little check mark there as you are complete with line 1 or step 1. Next thing to do is combine like terms. All right, we have a left side of the equation. We have a right side of the equation. We can only combine on either side. If we look at the right side, 19's flying solo by itself. But on the left side, whoa, we have 3 terms, 2 of which we can combine. And yes, great job. Thank you. Awesome work identifying. We can combine 22x. Ooh, I don't like that, how it auto does that. Let me underline once, and then we will underline minus 20x, because when we read it from left to right, it's 22x minus 20x. Okay, when we combine like terms, either left to right or top to bottom, the first term will tell us positive or negative. Every other term that follows behind that will either be add or subtract. All right, so in our calculator, if we do 22 minus 20, we get 2. Don't forget your x. Bring down the big hurt. Bring down your equals. Bring down your 19. Now, step 3 in blue is to move the constant. Sorry, just wanted to check that off the list. All right, now 19 again is already by itself. We want to isolate the 2x, so we need to get rid of the positive 35. And how can we do that? By subtracting 35. But remember, what we do to one side of the equation, yes, we have to do to the other. Go ahead and draw your line. All right, now we will work top to bottom, left to right, or up, down, left, right, BA, BA, select, start. You now have unlimited lives in Contra. Bring down that 2x, 35 minus 35, get rid of it. Bring down your equals, 19 minus 35. Remember, again, we're combining like terms here. All right, so here we combined left to right. Here we're combining top to bottom. All right, so the first one, again, tells you negative or positive, and every other term that follows below it now will tell us to either add or subtract, and this one tells us to subtract. So in your calculator, I want you to do 19 minus 35. And in case you're just a little unsure, all right, all of your operations are here to the right above your enter. You have the add, subtract, multiply, divide. The negative is to the left. Don't get that confused. All right, 19 minus 35 will give you negative 16. All right, cross that off. Next thing to do is divide. When we have a term isolated on the left with a variable and it has a coefficient, all right, and then we have a term on the right side by itself, just a constant floating there solo as well. We will divide each term by the coefficient of the variable, because when we read 2x, that's equal to 2 times x. And if we're playing a game of opposites, exactly, we just divide. Anytime you see a fraction, it's just telling you it's division. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaving you just your x by itself. How many x do we see? 1, so we do not need to write the 1. Bring down your equal sign. Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. Go ahead and circle your answer. At this time, if you'd like to pause the video, take down the equation here. Also, take down this equation, all right? Pause the video. You can try it and self-assess at the end. All right, moving forward. We have 23 minus 8x equals negative 14x minus 25. Okay, or let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. Move variable in red. Okay, so we always like to move the variable with least value because I like to divide by a positive at the end. Now, I know negative 8x puts me in the hole, but negative 14x puts me deeper in the hole. So we're going to shift this bad boy because it has least value. So we will do plus 14x and plus 14x. Go ahead and draw your line. We will work again. Top to bottom, left to right. 23, nothing under it. Just drop it down. This negative 8x, ooh, again, plus 14x. So in your calculator, negative 8 plus 14 gives us a positive 6. Do not forget your x. Bring down your equals. Cross the negative 14x plus 14x and bring down that negative 25. All right. Next step just says to move the constant. Well, if we learned a little something from the last equation, we know that we're trying to isolate this 6x. So what we're going to do is, to get rid of the positive Jordan, we are going to subtract the Jordan. But what we do to one side, yes, we do to the other. Draw your line, 23 minus 23, get rid of your 6x, just drop it down. I will not do the arrow every time, but just so you have it for this one, negative 25 minus 23. All right, yes, great job, negative 48. Go ahead and divide. All right, we'll divide each side by 6, leaving you your x equals negative 48 divided by 6 is negative 8. Go ahead and circle your answer. All right, whoa, fraction time. Okay, steps, multiply all by least common denominator, combine like terms, and divide. All right, no big deal. Our least common denominator between the 4 and the 12, and the 5 technically has a 1 under it, so that'll go with any, but 4 does go into 12, so we will use 12 as our least common denominator. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to multiply everything by that least common denominator, which is 12, okay? So we'll do 12 times x, all right, giving us 12x, and we will divide that by its original denominator of 4. All right, then we will do 12 times x, giving us the positive 12x. We will divide that by its original denominator of 12. All right, then we will do 12 times 5. Don't bring down your equals, which equals 60. Now, you can set that over 1 if you want just to see it, but you don't have to, so you can just leave it as equals 60. All right. Then we do 12x divided by 4, giving us our 3x. Oh, 12 divided by 12 is 1, so we'll just do plus x equals 60. Then we need to combine like terms, and yes, great job. 3x plus how many x? 1x gives us yes. All right, 4x. Bring down your equals, bring down your 60, and then we just divide by the coefficient of x. Guys, the beauty of math is that no matter the numbers, the positives, the negatives, the additions, the subtraction, all right, that may all change. But once you can identify in sequence, it does not matter how great the numbers are, all right, because the game remains the same. Divide each side by 4. X equals 15. Go ahead and circle your answer. Now at this time, I would recommend to pause the video, take that down. All right. Also, go ahead and jot this down because you'll try that following. All right. Now, just taking a look at the notes here. It just says align one binomial underneath the other, combine like terms. The reason we do that is, do we see this right here? Let me zoom on in, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get my highlighter out. I want that in gray, and I do want it right in gray as well. All right, so it just says that. Now right here, this positive here, this plus, there's an imaginary 1. So technically, you're distributing a 1 to both terms, so it's telling us to multiply to each. Okay, well, we know any number times 1 is just the same number. So what we're going to do is align 13x. All right. And then I guess that would be a plus 13x because it was the positive. And then we will subtract 25 here. Draw your line. Go ahead and combine your like terms. We've already aligned it. You're just doing 14 plus 13, which is 27. Don't forget your x there. And then we are doing negative 10 minus 25, giving you exactly negative 35. Go ahead and circle your answer. You should have it from the last one, pause, but go ahead now if you feel like you need to. All right, very similar here, okay? Now, notice the difference. Yes, great job. What you noticed was, thank you. Right here, it says a subtraction symbol instead of the addition. And again, yes, you are correct. Great job. So right in front of this here is an imaginary 1 as well. But now that's a negative 1 getting distributed. All right. So in our note here, it just says to flip the signs of binomial 2 because of the negative or subtraction in a line under binomial 1. All right. So we're just going to flip the signs because we know negative 1 times a positive 24 is negative 24. Let me go ahead and write that down. Sorry, sometimes it likes to auto switch. And then we know a negative times a negative gives us a positive, so we'll do plus 9i. And now we can combine the like terms, and that's all that is. 16 minus 24 is negative 8. 3i plus 9i is just positive 12i. Go ahead and circle your answer. Feel free to pause the video, jot that down, and go ahead and give it a go yourself. All right, moving forward. All right, we have a 3-stepper here. Okay, we're just going to distribute term 1 in binomial 1 to both terms in binomial 2. All right, beautiful. So term 1, binomial 1, is 7x. We're going to distribute that to both terms in binomial 2. So 7x times 3x gives us, yes, 21x squared because of the imaginary exponent of 1 that we add. So we multiply the coefficients and we add the exponents. All right, then we will do 7x plus 4, wonderful, plus 28x. All right, then in blue here it says distribute term 2 in binomial 1 to both terms in binomial 2. So we have this negative 9. We'll multiply that to 3x. Now, you can continue to write it off to the right here if you'd like, and then identify to combine, or you can write it directly beneath, whatever works best for you. All right, then we do negative 9 plus 4 is negative 36. So we're just going to set that off here. We can't combine that negative 36 with anything because it doesn't have an x with it, and it certainly does not have an x squared with it. All right, we will draw our line, and then we just combine like terms. We're just going to work top to bottom, left to right. 21x squared, anything below, nobody home, drop it straight down. 28x minus 27x leaves you just an x. Bring down your negative 36. Circle your answer. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this bad boy out on your own. Wonderful. All right, moving forward here. Looks like we have 4 steps, and we will work through them. All right, now, I know that I had put binomial 1, all right? But I also want you to know that it's just a complex number here, the negative 4 minus 9i, and same with the 6 plus 10i. All right, we will distribute. There's no plus or minus here, okay? So we're not multiplying the second binomial by a positive 1 or negative 1. We're just going to multiply the 2. And again, just like the one prior, we'll take our negative 4. We'll multiply it by 6. All right, that's going to give us negative 24. Then we will do our negative 4. We will multiply it by 10i, giving us negative 40i. Then in blue, we'll switch colors. We'll do negative 9i times 6. This time, I will drop it off to the right instead of going top to bottom, just to give you guys a little bit of a variation. And then we can do negative 9i times 10i, giving us negative 90i. I squared. Whoa, super key, super critical. Guys, we learned it all week in class. For those that may be a first-time viewer of the channel or a first-time learner going through one of these videos, all right, we learned something earlier in the week. We learned that I squared is equal to -1. All right, so our term negative 90I squared right here, all right, when you read that, it just is equal to negative 90 times I squared. Well, we know what I squared is. So you're basically just doing negative 90, all right, let me switch colors, times -1, which equals, let me switch back, plus 90 or positive 90 or just a 90, okay? You don't need the plus in front. My bad on that. Thank you. Now, what I like to do is I just like to auto cross that out so I know it's gone, and I just put plus 90, all right? Now I look what I can combine. I always like to start with the real numbers, the ones that don't have a lone I with it. So we'll start with the -24 and the plus 90 or positive 90. But when we read that as a group, it's just -24 plus 90, all right? That will give you 66. Then we will do -40I minus 54I, giving you -94I. Go ahead and circle your answer. And again, at this time, feel free to pause, give this a try, and check it at the end. All right. Steps. Flip the sign between the real and imaginary term and rewrite. Okay, what is the conjugate of the complex number? So when we're talking about the conjugate here, all right, our complex number here is -6 minus 13I. The conjugate, what we're going to do is exactly what it told us to do. We're just going to flip the sign between the real and imaginary and rewrite. All right, so if our sign here is a subtraction or a negative here, we'll make it a plus. All right, so our conjugate is just -6 plus 13I. That's all there is to it. Go ahead and give this one a try. Wonderful. All right, now for this one, it's looking for a mistake, okay? It's up to you if you want to find the mistake. I love that you're able to problem solve, and it's great to look at other people's work and go through it, just to kind of see where they make errors, just like we do in class as a small group or whole group unit. All right, so let's just go ahead and we're just going to solve the equation, distribute, combine like terms, move constant, divide. And after we complete each step, we'll see if we'll cross-reference and check how they did it over there on their own. Okay, what do we know about that 8 ball? Yes, all right, 8 minutes on the oven because we're going to set it and forget it. Then we are going to distribute that 5 to the 4x, giving us plus 20x. 5 to the 7 gives us plus 35. Bring down your equals, bring down your 83. Now, if we look at their step 1, we have 8 plus 20x plus 35 equals 83. 8 plus 20x plus 35 equals 83. Okay, well, that's on point so far. Well, let's combine like terms and see what happens. All right, what can we combine here? Yes, great job recognizing that. The 8 with the 35. All right, and if we do 8 plus 35, you'll get 43. Bring down your plus 20x equals 83. All right, so let's see what we have. We have 43 plus 20x equals 83. All right, they have 20x plus 43 equals 83. Well, it's 20x, and it's a positive 43, and it still equals 83. So we're looking good so far. All right, now, if we need to isolate the 20x, we do need to get rid of the 43. All right, and just like our steps say, we're just going to move the constant here. All right, and because that constant is a positive 43, we will subtract 43. And what we do to one side, yes, again, we do to the other. Great work. 43 minus 43, get rid of. Bring down your 20x. Bring down your equal symbol. And 83 minus 43 is 40. So now we have 20x equals 40. Ooh, they have 20x plus 126. I see where they went wrong. They added 43 to both sides, and 83 plus 43 would have been 126. So their error comes in step 3. So step with mistake, step 3. All right. Now, let's just finish it off ourselves. We will divide each side by the coefficient of x, which is 20, and x equals 2. All right, now right below, usually it's to the right where we practice. I want you to use this one here as practice. Okay, so pause the video, take that down real quick, that equation. Wonderful. All right, moving forward, steps, combine like terms. What is the sum of, okay? When it's looking for the sum, and that's in bold for a reason, okay? The sum just tells us to add. All right, and when we add, we are just going to combine like terms. Now, we need to shift one of them. I'd rather shift 2 terms than 3. All right, so this 4x, can I put it underneath the 6x squared? No, we cannot. This isn't squared, so it goes underneath the 7x. All right. Then we will do our plus 15, so negative 11. Yes, it will go right underneath that negative 11. Thank you. 6x squared, just bring it on down. 7x plus 4x is plus 7, turns into 11. Don't forget your x. Negative 11 plus 15 gives you a positive 4. Go ahead and circle your answer. Pause the video. Try this one out on your own in your notebook and check the answer later. All right. Steps, distribute term 1 in binomial 1 to the terms in binomial 2. Okay, so something we've done repeatedly. All right, so we'll take our first term here. 4x times 3x squared. Well, we know that 4 times 3 is 12. All right. Now, again, we have to add the exponents. There's an imaginary 1 there. I won't put it in there for you because you won't see it on an SAT, and I don't want to prepare you to fail when I know you can do this and just recognize. However, it won't be wrong in class if any of your answers do contain like a 1x. I mean, I'm not going to take off for it, but just know when you're doing a standardized test, it's just an x by itself because you only see one of them. All right? So we're going to add the exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. So x cubed, or x to the 3rd power. I don't like that 3. Let me rewrite it. Thank you. Then we'll do 4x plus 5x. Wonderful. So plus 20x, yes, squared, or x to the 2nd power. And then you will do 4x times negative 4, negative 16x. All right, then we'll distribute term 2. All right, which is this positive 7. And when we do 7 times 3x squared, we get 21x squared. We can continue to write it to the right, but I'm just going to go ahead and write it right under. All right, so we'll do plus 21x squared. 7 times 5x is, yes, 35x, so plus 35x. And then we'll do 7 times negative 4, giving us negative 28. Go ahead and draw your line. At this time, we'll just work top to bottom, left to right, combining like terms. 12x cubed, nobody home. Bring it on down. 20x squared plus 21x squared. Exactly. 41x squared. Negative 16x plus 35x plus 19x. Bring down your negative 28, and you are complete with that one. Go ahead and try the one to the right. All right, again, product. Ooh, I was just kind of flying through. So let me just put in a note for you guys. For product, product just tells us to multiply. So sum tells you to add, multiply, or product tells you to multiply, all right? So note that for your quiz. Here we go again, just simple solving, something we did in 1.2 that we dominated, but we're going to continue for the unit test. All right, go ahead, tell me. Thank you. Yes, 15 minutes in the oven. Set it and forget it. 15x. Negative 4 times 6x, beautiful, minus 24x. Negative 4 plus 12, wonderful, minus 48. And that, ooh, plus 17. Sneaky. Don't forget to write it, then bring down your equals, then bring down your 21 and your minus 5x. All right. So step 2, we're just going to combine like terms. Well, I'm going to take a look at the variable here. We have a 15x. Can I combine that with 17? Exactly. No way, dude. It does not have an x, but I can combine it with negative 24x. All right. So in your calculator, we would just do 15 minus 24, giving us negative 9. Don't forget your x. Now, what about this negative 48 and 17? Wonderful recognition, guys. Yes, we can. They're both constants, just numbers that stand alone. We can combine those. So negative 48 plus 17 is going to give us a negative 31. Bring down your equals. Bring down your 21. Bring down your minus 5x. We cannot combine these two. It does not have the variable x. All right, then we like to move the variable with least value. Well, we'll do a plus 9x because we don't want to be 9 in the whole. We prefer just to be 5 in the whole. All right. Draw a red line. Then we work again, top to bottom, left to right, negative 9x plus 9x, boom. Nobody home under that negative 31 equals, bring down that 21, negative 5x plus 9x gives us a plus 4x. You guys are on absolute fire right now. Thank you. All right, moving forward here, we have move the constant. All right, well, we can't do anything with negative 31. It's already on the left side solo. And we know we want to get 4x by itself, so we will subtract 21, not just from one side, but again, yes, thank you, to the other. All right, that will give us negative 54 equals, cross that bad boy out, bring down your 4x. You don't need to bring down the plus with it. If you do, no big deal. It is what it is. All right, we will just divide each side by 4. Negative 54 divided by 4 is negative 14. And that will equal your x. All right, go ahead and solve this bad boy by yourself. Moving forward, distribute distribute term 1 and binomial 1 and both terms of binomial 2. So here we go again. All right, guys, we're seeing this repeatedly, okay? But we're seeing different variations of it. Okay, all of this repetition builds retention, because if this is just ground 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 that we're on, and we're just going to continue to build, we have to own and dominate these skills. All right, so we're just going to do our 4 times 3, which is 12. Then we will do 4 times 7i, giving us plus 28i. Then in blue, we will do negative 6i times 3, giving us negative 18i. And then we'll do negative 6i times 7i, giving us negative 42i. Thank you. I'm so proud of you guys and happy that you did not forget to square it. All right, but what do we know about that negative 42i squared? Yes, I love when you guys just shout it out. That's equal to plus 42 or a positive 42. Now we can just combine the like terms, all right? We start with the real numbers, 12, 42, 12 plus 42, 54, the Erlacher. Bring it down. Yes, we can combine 28i with negative 18i. So 28i minus 18i gives us a positive 10i. Circle your answer. Go ahead and try that bad boy on your own. Thank you. All right, moving forward. Again, distribute one term of binomial 1 to both terms of binomial 2. Distribute 2. Okay, yes, we do. We flip the sign. Then we combine like terms, and we just want to see where they made their error. Okay, cool. Like it. Makes us think a little bit more. All right, because now we're looking at others' work, or at least the quiz's work that we know is wrong. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 8i is 48i. All right. Negative 3i times 5 is negative 15i. And negative 3i times 8i is negative 24i squared. All right, let's just take a look at what they have. All right, we did 6 times 5. We did 6 times 8. We did negative 3 times 5. We did negative 3 times 8. Everything's kind of checking out so far. We got 30 plus 48i, all right, minus 15i, minus 24i. All right, that looks good so far. So what we're going to do is, thank you. That negative 24i squared, we're just going to turn into a plus 24. Great job. Guys, you're identifying, you're recognizing, you are on absolute fire. All right. Real numbers first. 30 plus 24. Ooh, again the error locker. Cool. 48i minus 15i gives us a 33i. Go ahead and circle your answer. And just so you guys can see exactly where they went wrong, they forgot the square right here. So technically they did do it to solve their answer, but they just wrote it wrong here on step 2. If you solve it correctly, I'm giving it to you. All right. So what step is the error? Step 2. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Now the one below it, again, I want you to try this one, but independently. All right. So pause it. And we're moving on to our last one here. All right. You guys did this again in 1.2. It's just looking for perimeter. Perimeter tells us to combine like terms of the 4 sides. Wonderful. Do the same for this one on yours independently. Let's zoom on in here. We'll combine 5x with 4x and 5x and 4x and 5x plus 4x plus 5x plus 4x is 18x. Let me actually write that out just so you all can see that exactly how it functions and flows. All right, and then we will combine the negative 3 plus 7, negative 3 plus 7. All right, that will give us a positive 8. So let's just do this. Let's do negative 3 plus 7 minus 3 plus 7 equals 8. So your perimeter is just 18x plus 8. Circle that answer. And then to find the area, it's the same thing on repeat, guys, okay? It's just length times width. All right, either take one of these to represent the length or the width, okay? Just make sure you pick 2 different ones like these two. All right, you don't want to have the same terms inside, at least not for this one, or else that would be a square. 4x plus 7, all right, we'll multiply that to the 5x minus 3. Actually, hold on, let me go back. I just want to set that in black for us, all right? I want to stay with our colors we've been rocking throughout. 4x plus 7, close it off. 5x minus 3, close it off. All right, first thing we do, yes, first term to both in binomial 2, second term. So 4x times 5x gives you 20x squared. 4x times negative 3 is minus 12x. And then we'll do in blue, positive 7 times 5x is 35x. Now, you can just put it right below, or you could have put it off to the right. Doesn't matter, whatever works best for you. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. We can't align that with anything. Now you just work top, bottom, left, right, 20x squared, bring it on down. Negative 12x plus 35x, my favorite player of all time, actually my favorite athlete of all time. Bringing that Jordan X minus 21. That right there is your area. Circle your answer. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Guys, I'll scroll down in just a moment to go through your answer key. Welcome back to scan through your answer key. Here we go. Going slowly, you might want to pause those first 2. Wonderful. And you might want to stop and pause for these next 3. Wonderful. And we might want to stop and pause for these next 2. Wonderful. And cruising through, we have 3 more. Go ahead and give that a pause. Alrighty. Going through. We have 2 more here. All right, looking for the sum of and the product of. Wonderful. Continuing on. I know, long one, bad boy. That's okay. You guys are crushing. Go ahead. Get that down for yourself. Pause it. Scrolling through. All right, we will take a look at this one here, as that one was yours. Pause this one to the right, my bad. This bottom one was yours. And then last but not least, so I should leave those two up there if possible. We kind of can. Wonderful. Go ahead and pause. And then pause again. All right, let's go. Let's crush. Let's dominate. Always.